NathanIvy.com. Mr. Ivy know the show must go on. And far as Cincinnati, man, I put on. Tunes made another flame beat for me to cook on. Raised dogs, close fish, yeah, too strong. Team NI, chop it up at the chop shop. Top notch with the king flow, the hot shot. Cop squats in, listen to the real. Jumping like hopscotch, nobody harder than, oh, nope, think not. Not only citywide, but nationwide. Superlative, keep it locked like them Haitian guys. Put the truth in the airwaves, we talk about it. Brand new like the templates, let's be about it. Who got the info about it? Hey yo, John be the rapper, got them jamming when they play him. Staying in my lane, they ain't gotta okay him. Who the host with the scoop? Yeah, they gon' say him. Ivy, so superlative like a bag of Grippos. Show you where the bricks at, Cincinnati red tag. One time where my people at. Team NI, where my people at. It's the 513, yeah, you know the flow. What's the word, Nate? Let them know the show. One time where my people at. Team NI, where my people at. My people at.
Good morning, everybody. Nate Ivy with you, your humble host, back to rock for the next 2 hours. Again, thank you for being here. Hope you had a great weekend. Hope you had a fabulous weekend. Listen, if you live in the city of Cincinnati, let's talk for real for a second here. No BS. Give it to me straight. How is Blink? Is Blink not the most overrated shit you ever seen in your life? Come on, you know that ish is overrated. Yeah, it's three ways to help Blink. One, they should have a parade every day, like Mardi Gras parade every day at 8. Don't tell me it can't be done. Hey, listen, if the people at Blink have any problems with having a parade every day in Cincinnati, all they got to do is call Jeff Birding. That's all they got to do. He'll get it done. Shout out to the elder gods. Thank you for being here. Nate Ivy in the air chair. Let me throw my number out into the ether and see what happens. 513-218-0403. I'm still using that secret T'Challa number, but you're welcome. We all fam. Come on in here. Come on in. Let's get this going. Get your Monday started out just right. Did you get a chance to go down to Blink? If you're thinking, what the hell is Blink? Blink is like an outdoor event that happens at night. The streets of downtown Cincinnati, like 4 or 5 locations, are transformed with an amazing light show, lasers projected onto various buildings for a spectacular visual display. That's what it is. Did you go to it? They should have a parade every single day. And what else? I think the site should be closer together, man, but people loved it. And also, they should think about pushing it up maybe like a month. Or maybe there's something to do with the lasers where it has to be in cold weather or something like that. I don't know. But if there isn't some technical reason, then I think Blink would be better if it was just a little bit, we'll say like 15 degrees warmer. Although the streets of downtown Cincinnati were packed. I don't want to hear about the Bengals. I don't want to talk about the Bengals. I don't want to think. Look, turn the music down. I don't want to talk about the Bengals. I don't want to think about the Bengals. I told you. I want the Bengals to go 0-16. It'll be exactly what everybody deserves. Everybody deserves a 0-16 record. Everybody. And where are you anti-Marvin people at? Told told you. I told you Marvin shouldn't have left. No, he's got to go. Oh, I just can't stand to see him on the sidelines. What do you see that's any different? Zach Taylor making excuses. Well, the guys in the locker room still got fight in them. Oh, really, Zach? Because you can't see it on the field? I did not watch the game. You know me. I did see the highlights on YouTube. But I did read a lot of what the national commentators and everybody said the Bengals gave up. I don't know. I didn't watch. I'm sure you did. I still got Bengal fans on my Facebook feed. It's hilarious. I love you guys. I love you hardcore, diehard Bengal fans. You know why? It makes me feel better about myself. Because y'all pathetic. Y'all so damn pathetic that it makes me feel a little better about myself. I must be honest with you this morning. I feel a little bit better about myself. Every time I see you damn Bengal fans. Oh, woe is me. I thought we was going to get a win. What made you think that? Oh, my man. This is funny. I love all my hardcore Bengal fans. Every Sunday, y'all got your jerseys on. I love you. Please keep doing it because I love it. Every time I see, I'm like, yeah, I'm better than that. I'm smarter than they are. For real. For real. Shout out to Ride or Die Training. I am so happy that I ultimately chose to roll with those brothers. Of course, yesterday was our first CCW class. And then, you know what? Our numbers were small, but we were together. We had a good time. And because the numbers were small, we were able to get more time on the range, which is it was hella valuable. You can go to my Facebook page. I put up my target and everything. They said I shot good, y'all. I'm like, really? I told them, man, first-person shooters. They looking at me like I'm like, oh, Nate was in the military. He don't want to say nothing. I could tell Forte was looking at me like, this nigga's on some, undercover-ish. No. First-person shooters, man. Halo, what else? Call of Duty. Years ago, I was crazy with it, man. Anything I do, I want to be the number one in. Care what it is. Care what it is. Videos. Makes no difference. Video games, should I say? Not videos. I'm making no videos. Get your mind out your gutter. Oh, boy. We had a great time. Let me run through it, though. That CCW training, man, it was so much information. We started about 8:30, and we ended like about 5 or so because we were just on the range kicking it. Had a really good time. Couple things I can tell you, and you know what? It kind of works out better this way because I'll be honest with you. I'm the kind of person that when I'm doing something for you, I like to do it first because then I can give you an honest assessment of how I feel about it. Because as I tell anyone who I work with you, my audience, I don't bullish at all. You know what I'm saying? I want the best for the representation of me, okay, in our relationship. Because if I recommend we go to a CCW instructor and it ends up being whack, you're going to be looking at me crazy, right? Exactly. So it kind of works out best that way. I know it just didn't work out with a lot of people, but I had committed myself and we had a small group of folks. And it was good. It was good, man. I shot all kind of weapons. I don't even know what I shot. I don't know. I shot a revolver, .357. Damn, that thing got some kick to it. But I'm a big man with big hands. I can handle it. It was good. It was good. Shot some semi-automatics, including something that the brothers was telling me was like really, really cool. I can't remember the name of the weapon. But we had a really good time, though. I mean, just I learned about the bullets, not the bullets, but the cartridges. A breakdown of not just the cartridge, but the mechanics of the weapons and the instructors, two men of color, two brothers, from from the Cincinnati area, but various they took different routes to that point. So it was good to have them both to kind of have both of those perspectives. You know what I'm saying? So shout out to Forte and Joe. Appreciate them. And we had a good time. You know, everybody qualified. So it's official. And the next steps will be, what else did we fire? We fired AR-15. So now I know why these psycho sickles are choosing AR-15s. That is a very deadly weapon. They even gave us some insights on the flight, not necessarily velocity, but the flight of the cartridge. Once it leaves the weapon of an AR-15 and what makes it so deadly. I think we shot an AK. I'm trying to remember the name of that weapon, man. It was something really cool. They're gonna kill me. That we got a chance to fire, man. Apparently, it's like the top. Well, one of the top of the top before you start to do customized weapons or handguns. What is it called? I don't know. It'll come to me. But I can tell you strongly, 100%, that I would absolutely recommend getting your CCW with Ride or Die. And you have an open invitation to come with us. And we'll get a date for you really soon. The fellas are kind of looking at the calendar, and they're going to give us a date for that next step. If you want to call it tactical, we'll call it tactical for people who already have a CCW. Maybe want to get some range time in. Come get some range time in with us. Super safe. Safety first. Super safe. These brothers are not playing. It was all about safety. But I don't know. We had a good time. And, I was looking at the clock like, damn, it's going to be a long day. And afterward, I definitely felt it because, it's on a Sunday. But it was time well spent. I'm glad I did it. And before you know it, it's like that. And when you're going with people, y'all hanging out, and maybe you're asking questions together, you eating lunch together. They provided lunch for us as well. And it was good. It was good. Now, I'm not sure if the price is going to be the same. They had given us a couple days, and that was a special price, but we'll see what works out, how it all works out. And I will, since I've now got my CCW, of course, any class we do, I'll be there to greet you. But I'm not sure if I'll be staying for the entire class, okay? But we'll see. You'll see. We got a good group of people, man. We just hanging out. Cool. And again, I love knowledge. I love learning new things. I learned so much yesterday. I can't even remember it all. I can't even remember everything I learned. And I took notes. And so we all got a written exam, and then we had to go out onto the range. And I guess I qualified, very quickly. That was cool. I'm like, oh, great. That's it. Great. And it was a good time. It was a good time all the way around. And again, for me, I'm standing there with these very powerful handguns, realizing what this is. This ain't no game. This is a very serious matter. And, we're shooting at targets. But if you're in a real life situation, it's going to be a human being. And so you have to really ask yourself, do you have what it takes to pull that trigger? Do you really, are you getting this just so you want to get it? And again, whatever your level is, you do it at your own. This is just an opportunity that we're providing. Whatever your level is and how you feel comfortable, you should take your own time. Nobody's going to push or rush or anything. But as I'm holding these various weapons, I'm looking at this target like, damn, that could be a human. And what those weapons will do to the human body is very, very serious. So this is about safety. This is about personal protection. They spent great detail. They showed us different videos, walked through the scenarios. We could ask questions. They were pretty open. They're hilarious. Joe is hilarious. He told us listen, when we go back, you got to tell you the story about the Dominican Republic. He was down in the DR, and I'll just leave it like that. It's a funny story, but some good guys, and we had a good time, and I'm glad that I did it, and looking forward to going back with you. So a couple of things we're working on. I know that we couldn't get everybody in with the CCW. This didn't work out. I get it completely. No worries. I got you. We can possibly set up another CCW, a basic CCW class. And then perhaps in November, that's a perhaps. And then November, for sure, we're going to set up that first tactical training. And then next year, maybe go out to the outdoor range. We're in an indoor range. And as luck would have it, it was just they had two sides of it. And as luck would happen, nobody was on our side. So it was just really our group over there. And it all worked out. So thank you for being there for those who were there. And for those who are interested, I got you. We'll do it together. I'll be there in the morning with you. I might even sit in the class just for the knowledge of it, just to try to, if there's any questions that came up that I couldn't answer that you might think of, something like that. It's really about education and safety. It's about education and safety. And I hope I'm never in that situation where I have to make that decision about another human. I really do. I mean, because that's somebody's child. somebody's brother, perhaps, somebody's father, mother. It's a very serious matter. I take it very seriously. We're not playing out here. It ain't no game. It's social, but it's very serious. It's so serious. It's so crucial. It's so crucial. And I feel the same way before I took the class, even more so now than I did before, about I'd rather have it and not need it than need it and not have it, even more so. But there's some real Gilligans out there on the YouTube that shot themselves in the foot, almost shot themselves in the head. I mean, it's a very serious situation. And now that I've gone through the class, now I know. Like, I got a CCW, but am I proficient with a weapon? Hell no. I got to get out on that range. That's the only way you can do it. And we can do that together. We can do that together. All right, here's my number this morning. If you want to transform your brainwaves into internet talk radio waves this morning, you can do so at 513-873-7134. What's really going on? Black woman was killed in her own home. Killed in her own home. And this is a very, very sad story. Apparently, there was a man in the neighborhood, and he observed what he thought was an open door. Here we go again with this open door-ish. Didn't we learn? I don't know about you, man, but being a big guy, feeling like I can handle myself, I'll be honest with you. There's been times where I'm like, door schmo, ain't nobody walking in here. Shame on them if they do. I got that kind of attitude like you. But ever since Amber Geiger, man, you better lock your damn doors. Anybody could walk in there. The police could walk in there, literally. So the police fatally shot a woman in her own home through the window. Through the window, y'all. This man is outside of the home and shoots into the house. What? Yes. I couldn't make this up. I wouldn't make it up. This is ridiculous. And now her picture is everywhere. Tatiana Jefferson, 28 years old, was shot and killed by a Fort Worth police officer. And this happened about 2 a.m. back on October the 12th, which I believe is Saturday. She was still inside of her home. She was shot through her bedroom window. Now, if you look at the body cam, it gets even worse because the body cam I saw, it seemed like they were trying to focus on what looked to be a weapon somewhere inside the house. And the image was all pixelated because either it was a bad camera or it was a lot of distance or both, or some interference, some visual interference. So you really couldn't see a good, crisp clip picture of it. I'm thinking, wait a minute, are they trying to make a case? So the police were called. I saw a video of the neighbor, black man. He was in tears. He said he wished he had never even called the police now. There's now a movement. Somebody put inside the Friends page. There's now what appears to be a growing movement of black people saying, don't call the police. Don't even call them. But black people know this is why black folks don't like to rock with the police. I've been saying it from day one. They try to run around here, it's the anti-snitching. No, it's because of the history between law enforcement and non-white people. Period. That's what it is. Stuff like this. This woman is in her home. She hears something in the back. She goes to the back to look outside, gets shot through the window by a scary-ass police officer. This man is a you-know-what. How scary do you have to be? If you're that scared, you shouldn't be on the police force. If you so scary that you get a call to go to a neighborhood, oh boy, you think Jason's back there and Freddy Krueger and you just don't know what to do. You're shaking in your boots. That's the wrong job for you, boo. That's the wrong job for you. You're in the wrong line of work. You're not cut out for it. Okay, I'm not saying I'm cut out for it. But that's clear to me. Scary-ass police officers running around with weapons. Shot this woman through her bedroom window. The police were called to the house for a welfare check. Now, how do you go from a welfare check to using lethal force through a window? Through a window. Through the window. This is amazing to me. Now, this shooting is taking place just a few weeks after Dallas police officer Amber Geiger was found guilty of murder after accidentally killing Botham Jean. She did not accidentally kill that man. Will the media stop saying that shit? Excuse me. Amber Geiger meant to kill Botham Jean. She said it. She used lethal force. Double tap. One of them hit him in the chest. That's the kill shot. Will the media stop giving this woman? She did not she accidentally went to the wrong house. Why do we just assume that they're one and the same? That her first accident leads in and explains the second action. There was two actions that happened that night. One, she did a breaking and entering. She broke into somebody else's house. Anybody else in America, if you do that, you're going to get a B&E, if that's a thing. Follow me, though. And then she chose to shoot the brother, which she didn't have to do. The brother's in there smoking weed, eating ice cream. The most defenseless position in the world, by the way. Black man in his home smoking his ganja, his ice cream. One of the most defenseless positions in your drawers, or your shorts, or whatever you lounge in. I'm too old to lounge in drawers anymore. Sorry. I'm just telling you. I don't even let my son do that, but you better put some shorts on. Hell, I want to see your ass. This is crazy. Apparently, she mistook his apartment for her own. She got sentenced to 5 years. People are still struggling with the fact that she got so much emotion. Oh, sweet baby. She's just going to kiss you on the lips every night in jail. Miss Amber? What's wrong with these people, man? Y'all better wake up. The father of Tatiana Jefferson said, I don't want no damn hugs. I know that's right. It's a damn shame what's a caveat. It's a damn shame the world we live in. 28-year-old woman down in Texas was shot and killed by a Fort Worth police officer at about 2 a.m. And then I saw these images of what looked to be a gun that was in their house. So what? You go to somebody's home, see a gun, all of a sudden you on high alert? It's Texas. The police officer was in her backyard and shot her through her bedroom window. He's going to claim that he thought that she had something. You already know it. Whether she had something or not, he's going to claim, I thought I saw the glint of the light on the barrel. Oh, Lordy, I started to shake. I couldn't do, I started shaking. I didn't know what to do. So the officer responds to the house. He starts out by standing outside the open front door where the screen was shut. Then he walks to the side of the house. The lights in the house were on the inside when the officer arrived. This is all from the body cam. The officer opens the gate to the backyard, walks into the backyard, and then shines a light on different parts of the exterior of the house. He saw a person watching him from inside the house and yelled from the backyard, "Put your hands up. Show me your hands." Hold on. You go to somebody else's backyard. Now, mind you, he was called there. It was a wellness check. You go to somebody else's backyard and you end up shooting them through the window? How do you know they even heard you? They're inside. How do you know they even heard me? Even heard you? He writes, here it is, put your hands up, show me your hands. The officer quickly shot through the window. The body cam footage seems to indicate that he shot within a second or so of saying, put your hands up. Put your hands up. Bang. Come on, man. I say it again. if you're gonna give somebody some kind of order like that, shouldn't you give them a chance to respond? If you're gonna give somebody some kind of order like that, shouldn't you give them a chance to respond? All right, we got let's go to the line here. We got Forte on the line. Good morning to you, Forte. What's up, brother?
Hey, what's up, Nate?
I'm doing great, man.
Yeah, man, I just want to let you know that you shot the Legion, the baddest pistol in the world. You shot an AK-47. You shot an AR-15, and you shot a Smith & Wesson MMP 9mm.
And the 357.
Yes, sir. And you did unbelievable.
Yeah, man, I appreciate that, man. Like I said, it was. I know you was looking at me like, Nate's been in the military. I'm like, no.
Yeah, man.
The video game military is the closest I've gotten. I think that's what it is, man. Years and years of I guess you would say, what's that? Call of Duty.
Yeah, the Call of Duty paid off for you.
That Legion is nice. That's a nice firearm right there, man.
Yeah. That Legion is like, going to the biker club with the newest and baddest bike and everybody want to ride.
Uh-huh. Yeah, it's real nice.
Yeah.
Again, I learned a whole lot. I learned a whole lot. So I'm really excited, man, to bring some more folks out. I know we've already discussed talking about doing more of a tactical kind of thing in November, and perhaps we can squeeze in another CCW opportunity if you've got space. Because I think we definitely got some folks, man, that want to come out and start that journey of personal protection.
Oh, most definitely, man. It's all about personal protection, and it's about safety. And I'm going to say this on your airways because I mean it. If we Black and American carrying guns, we need special training. I don't care if you're a police officer off duty. You Black and American, you're carrying a gun. We're dealing with people who got in some cases, the courage of a mustard seed. They are being, they're not disengaged and they're escalating, like the unfortunate situation with the lady in Texas right now. I'm like, what the hell? I'm in my house and I get shot in the window. This is insane.
Yeah, man, I'm going through it right now. I'm still trying to figure out what this. I mean, what's going to happen. He's going to say, "I thought she had something," and that's going to open the door to sympathetic people.
Well, I'm going to simply say it to you like this. I'm going to see who's going to forgive this guy. They say he was a rookie. He'd only been on a little bit over a year. Well, believe me, this would have been avoided if he'd have took cover and turned on his freaking police lights and said police. Okay? Now, I'm standing by that. I'd have been in those situations hundreds of times. Somehow I managed not to shoot anybody and I managed not to get shot. So when you talk to me about this situation, I'm looking at my daughter in her house with her nephew, and all of a sudden she winds up catching a round through the window, and then you're going to show a gun on the floor in her house? That's Texas. If she didn't have a gun in the house, I think something was wrong with her. So I don't get it, man. But we'll pick up on these topics. And but like I say, man, you were a great student. The people that was with you, they were all great. And I got to blow my own horn because that story in the Dominican, I'm laughing all night long thinking about that.
That's a funny ass story right there.
Man, that's freaking Joe, boy. But Nate, tell the people how we had the one person that struggled and how we got her through it.
Mm-hmm. Oh yeah. I mean, for sure. I mean, she was struggling with Joe. And that's a good thing about having both of the instructors because, people got different styles. And then you work with her and was able to, get her past. And she was able to show some proficiency out there shooting on the range.
Yeah, that was wonderful. She was so happy,
Yeah, she was. She was.
I stand by it. If Forte can't get you through it, nobody can. Now, if you don't qualify, you're not going to get your certificate. It's that simple because in the end, our name is on that. And when you go out there, if you get into a shooting and you're a ride or die student, we're going to be in court with you. Okay? Because they're going to know what do we teach you and how proficient you was and all of that. So that's just a gimme for Joe and I, So prayerfully, none of our students do it. Well, I can tell you, Joe had a couple of students that had to defend themselves and they won. I can tell you that for sure. Those are stories we'll talk about offline. But basically, man, like I said, I had a great time with you, man. And you mastered that 357, man. I was damn near jealous,
Really?
Like,
okay.
This guy, he shoots X's with the 357. I mean, come on,
I know,
dude.
man. I big beginner's luck, man. Like I told you, first person shooters, years and years of that, man.
Yeah.
I guess.
Yeah. And here's the kicker, man. You were shooting 15 to 20 feet. We didn't have a target in your face. We had the target at distance. Because if you got to engage somebody in a gunfight, you want to drop them in a distance they can't drop you. Does that make sense?
Oh yeah, absolutely.
Yep. So, but anyway, man, keep up the good work. All the choppers, looking forward to seeing you all. We'll get it together. We're definitely going to go out in the country next month.
Yep.
That's a 100% guarantee.
Okay. Hey, Forte, thank you so much, man.
All right. Hang in there, bro.
Yeah, most def. Yep. So black instructors, and they were instructing us on being black. See, everybody in the room was black, a person of color, African American, however you want to call it, non-white. And so they definitely spoke to these particulars, you know what I'm saying, of being a CCW carrier and being black in this world, because that's different. And that's part of the reason why I took my time and I sought them out, because I was looking for something in particular. And they were able to speak to that very eloquently. And again, I mean, it made it go fast. The material's coming through. I mean, they're throwing a couple videos. Joe's telling these funny stories they're relevant to what we're talking about. It wasn't like he was off on some tangent, but it went really quickly. Before I knew it, boom, it was lunch. Then before I knew it, we was at the range. And before I knew it, we were signing our certificates. And not to go in particular about anybody else's experience other than my own, which is what I kind of focused on. But they were serious about making sure that you show proficiency. They're just not going to just sign you on a birthday. They're not going to sign the certificate and just let you walk. If you don't show proficiency on the range, whatever that level is, then you ain't going to pass. It's just what it is. But they work with you, though. They will work with you, meaning that we had the time. Because we had a smaller group, we had the time. So, people were able to get some, if you want to call it extra time or personal time in. So it all kind of worked out. But he said the Legion is the name of that weapon. The Legion. Yeah, that's what I shot. Yeah, it was nice. It's nice. I look at these weapons as nothing more than tools. I don't find myself to be I wouldn't say I'm a gun guy. It's just that when I do something, I want to learn as much as possibly, and I want to do it as far as I can. So in that way, I guess I'll become a gun guy. These are lethal devices. I've got children, so you got to make sure that you have all the levels of information. They even talked about insurance, CCW insurance. Have you thought about that? Probably not. What if you got to take somebody down? You got to go to court. There's insurance for that, which I would highly recommend. I've kind of zeroed in on two myself. I mean, if you're going to do something, do it all the way. You can do it all the way. Get the proper insurance it takes for you. And again, you hope that you never have to use it. But put yourself in a position so that if you do, you're taken care of. You're not scrambling around, trying to borrow $1,000 here and get up $10,000 to pay the lawyer and do this. Now you're off work. That's not how kings do it. Just handle your business beforehand, and then God will take care of everything else. If that makes you feel comfortable. That may not. But shout out to Forte and Joe, man. Again, it was a great experience. I'm so glad that I worked with them. And I took my time for this process. So I can tell you 100% I don't bullshit. Not when it comes to you. I'll never tell you anything that's wrong. I'll never suggest something that I think is not right. It'll never happen on any levels. But, and I like to, just like with my own family, I like to go check it out for myself. Then I can say, yeah, we good. We can go do this. And I can 100% tell you that. 100% tell you that. So it sounds like that November class is definitely, and, another CCW class between now and November, we'll see. It depends on the response. And then, we want to make sure people get that deposit in, so we make sure people are there. All right, CG Dubs in the house. She writes, good morning, Choppers. Good morning to you. Cincy Tigress writes, morning. Hey, good morning to you, Cincy Tigress. Brenda writes, happy Monday. It is a happy Monday. At least I feel happy so far. I had a great weekend. What happened on Friday? Let me go back here. See, Friday. No, something was going on Friday. I forget, though. Wait. What happened on Friday? Something happened on Friday. I just can't recall it. Anyway, but my Friday was good. My Saturday was great. My Sunday was spectacular. And now it's a Monday. Isn't today Indigenous Peoples Day? Hip, hip, hooray for Indigenous People Day. Y'all with me? Hip, hip, hooray for Indigenous Peoples Day. Christopher who? Huh? Jigga what? I never heard of him. Brenda writes, happy Monday. Christopher who? Ray writes, grand risings all. Pamela writes, good morning, Nate and the Choppers. Brian writes, good morning. See, it was too spread out. Blink, right. Blink is too spread out. You got too many blocks to walk in the damn cold. That streetcar ain't never seen that kind of... Was the streetcar up and running? The best day of Blink was the first day when they had the parade. Here's my suggestions for Blink. Number one, you need to move up the date about 3 weeks to a month so we can get some of that warm weather. Yeah. That's number one. Number two, parade every single day. Like Mardi Gras at the same time. We'll say 7. Okay? And you're thinking, damn, Nate, that's hella logistics to tie up the city. Yeah, call Jeff Birding. He'll get it done. Mr. Birding? Mr. Birding? Mr. Birding? We've got a mission for you. We got a mission for you. Get Jeff Birding on it. He'll get it done. That's it. Number one, too damn cold. Number two, too damn far. Too damn far. And number three, minus the first day with the parade, not enough music. They need music everywhere. And not music from people's cars, because all you're going to hear is Cardi B and Drake. That's just me right there. What do you think? Did you go down to Blink? Did you blink? If you did, I'd love to hear your thoughts. Let's go to the phones. Good morning, Tracy. Welcome to the show.
Hey, how are you?
I'm doing great. Welcome. What's going on?
I'm so glad you brought up this. It's not 8:30, so well, yes, it is. This shit about Blink. Let me tell you something. I was so disappointed. We went Saturday, and first of all, I don't know if people were just in their cars because they wanted to drive by and see what was going on, but it was like Jazz Festival back in the 80s when people would just get in their car and circle around town. So we parked over by Cincinnati Bell, and then we kind of got confused as to where to go. So I knew that people would probably be at Fountain Square. So we went over to Fountain Square, and then we walked down to the banks. But when I tell you that wasn't where the light show is, I mean, they had Fifth Third lit up. They had the Fountain Square lit up. And then there was like maybe sporadically some different things that were lit up. The party was going on down on the banks, the drunk party. But from what I understand, the big show was all the way at the other end by Music Hall where people were playing basketball and there was a seesaw and there was all of the light up stuff. So we were completely at the wrong end. So, of course, me being mom and trying to drag my family out, they all looking at me like we could have stayed home for this mess. They were mad. It was a bust for me. I don't have to do it again. It was too cold. They should move it up just like closing the health gap should be in May, because in April it's too cold sometimes or too rainy. So I didn't have a good experience at all, and I probably won't do it again. If I do, it'll be on the Music Hall side, but I doubt if I do it. I just scratched my bucket list and said, okay, I did it. So that's how I felt about it.
Mm-hmm. I agree with all of that. They should have did what they did at
Music
Hall.
Did you go down? I didn't hear if you went. Did you go?
Yeah, I didn't go to everything, but yeah, I was down there. I was down there on Thursday and Friday, and that's when I was like, This shit is overrated. I'll be honest with you. I went to one sort of site, and I was like, cool, I'm good. And I just kind of moved on with the rest of my life.
The reason why we even walked down to the banks is because I wanted to see the bridge lit up, and the bridge wasn't even lit up Saturday. And then I started thinking, I said, is it because it rained Friday, that some of the lights got messed up? I don't know. But I was really disappointed when the bridge wasn't even lit up. So I was just done at that point. I said, come on, y'all, let's go back. So that was my experience.
Tracy, thank you for the call. I appreciate it.
All right, have a good week.
Yep, you too. She said, good week? Good week? We just got started. What about tomorrow? She just told me, I won't be calling no more Negro. And just so we're all clear, it's 9:30, not 8:30. It's 9:30. That's the time when we can get adult for 30 minutes and use the S word and the F word. The N word, I mean, if you can do it artfully, cool. But if it becomes like gratuitous, superfluous, it just, I mean, come on, man. If I want all that, I'll turn on some Onyx. I don't need to hear all that. Well, I'll take that back because Onyx did it artfully. Back the F up. Attack of the ball heads. Attack of the ball heads. Jesse posted this 2 hours ago. Who is this from? Black Blue Prince. Do not call the police to check on black people. Call a family member. Call a friend. Gather neighbors within the community. Go check yourself. Be creative. I repeat, do not call the police. Now, if you're a member of law enforcement or you're law enforcement super sympathetic, you have to ask yourself, is this warranted? And if you arrive at any other answer than yes, you are drinking the Kool-Aid, bruh. Wake the F up. Okay? You call for a wellness check and you shoot through a window 1 second after you say, basically put your hands up? How is this right? How is this right? Listen, if I just missed your phone call, which I believe I did, call me right back. 513-218-0403. I know it's a slightly different number. Tracy, I mistakenly just called you back, so sorry about that. That was me. This is crazy. Yeah, I'm looking at it right now. Do not call the police to check on black people. Black folks got to the point in this country, some anyway, where they don't even want the police to be called for a wellness check. They don't even want you called for a wellness check. Like, don't check on my peoples at all. Nah, I check on my cousin and them because y'all gonna show up and do something stupid. And like I said, if you that scary, you shouldn't be on the police force. James posted this 14 hours ago. This is inside the Friends Who Like the Nathan Ivey Show. Slain witness Joshua Brown was expected to testify in lawsuit against Dallas police. What? Eyeballs. What? He what? Is that true? That's the New York Post. I don't know if they 100% reliable. I can't say they 100% reliable like that. Let's go to the phones. Good morning. Welcome to the show.
Hey, good morning, Guy. How are you?
Doing great, man. Doing great, fam.
That's good.
What's up with your energy, man? You all right?
Yeah, I'm good, man. What you want me to do? You want my Hulk Hogan right off the rip, brother?
Yep.
Oh, let me tell you something, brother. All you Bengal fans, you should be excited because I got you to a bag yesterday, brother.
Yeah, you did get him to a bag.
I told you. Yes, I did. I told you that the Bengals would not lose by 11 to the Ravens like they were scheduled to. Yes, you can make money off a team that still loses. And I got you to that bag, but I digress. I don't want to pull any more muscles patting myself on the back. Tatiana, this is a very... First of all, you know Dallas and Fort Worth are pretty much the same city. That's like Cincinnati and Hamilton.
I did not know that.
And Dallas, the airport down there, DFW, Dallas Fort Worth Airport. That's where both of them got killed in Dallas, and now old girl over in Fort Worth, the suburb of Dallas. Or I should say Cincinnati and Westchester, because Fort Worth is a little more affluent. Yeah, so, I mean, maybe it's something going on in that region that they're doing some tactical murders, as many as possible. I don't know. I'm just throwing stuff out there. But, hey, before I talk about Tatiana, I just want to clear up. I didn't realize you had so many trappers in your audience. They were talking about Joshua Brown last week, talking about, who would do this? Who would go this far to get this liquor? I was just laughing about it like, okay, y'all know nothing about the game for real. Because the more I think about it, the more I realize I don't know if that was a police killing of that guy or not.
Well, that's what I said from the jump.
Yeah, because at first I was thinking that, but then the minute his mom said he ain't got no enemies, That's that's what turned me off. Like,
Why?
Mom, you don't know your son. Like, you think you don't know people don't be knowing their kids and other adults like they think they do. They only know what they want you to know. Then it immediately came out that he was shot at before he survived another shooting, and he didn't want to testify. It was like, okay, yeah, the dude was up to something. He on Facebook and social media with racks to his ear. You know what I'm saying? There probably was a drug deal gone bad. He probably thinking like, hey, I played college football. I still got muscles. I'm about to wrestle this gun from dude. Why did they leave the weed? I don't know. Probably that's kind of how, a lot of drug murders are irrational. And people do dumb stuff when they happen.
I mean, but you drive 300 miles and you don't even grab the weed? I don't know, man. Who's to say they even actually came to buy weed? I personally knew 3 people who were murdered from a drug murder, and based on what everybody says, the streets be talking, doesn't sound like the person came to really buy the stuff in the first place. Sound like it was a pure jack move from the giddy up. Sometimes those happen. It's just a jack move. They wouldn't, come to buy. They didn't bring no money or nothing. And then, when the shots started ringing out, they realized we got to get out of here. Damn that weed. And then they dropping folks off at a nursing home. I mean, criminals are dumb. Probably wanted the guy to survive, thinking that they probably don't realize that, they report gunshots no matter where you at. No matter what medical facility you go in, whether it's a hospital, nursing home, urgent care. They're going to report a gunshot. They have to. You know what I'm saying? So I just, that's just kind of like, I'm just like, I'll pass judgment on that one for now. I'm not so sure that the guy wasn't involved in something and his luck just ran out. Again, could be.
The perfect storm hit. He's out, face is all out there in Dallas or wherever. And just the perfect storm hit him. Like I always say, you don't know who somebody crossed in life. That doesn't mean they did them dirty. Just mean, you don't know who they came across. And apparently, from where I sit, this dude came across some dudes who was just about being jack boys and killers. But as far as Tatiana, I whatever that meme is about don't call the police, yeah, that's real because as far as I'm concerned, the Negro, this professional Negro who called the cops, he
was a neighbor. His name is James Smith. James Smith, a black man, was a neighbor.
A professional Negro. Your neighbor's door is open, and the first thing you think of is to call the cops. Go check yourself if you care that much, or mind your business. Calling the police, that's being a professional Negro.
Can you further define what you mean by professional Negro?
Somebody who always, just complaining about being downtrodden and being hurt, but doing nothing about it. Calling the police, being a Negro. Like the 60s.
So basically, you don't have a definition for it, basically. So basically, you don't have a definition.
Yeah, I do.
For it.
I just gave you a definition.
That wasn't a definition. You threw together a couple words. Nothing was really coherent. I mean, I don't really have a clear description.
Okay, somebody, the type of person who would sing and protest and march and are friends with the police. That is a professional Negro.
So if you
your job
protest
is
and
making
march,
white folks comfortable.
Does it matter
your
what
job
you're
is making
protesting?
white folks comfortable.
So does it matter what they're protesting and marching for? Or are you just saying across the board, if you're protesting and marching, that makes you a professional Negro?
Yeah, it does. Yeah, it does. If it pertains to black people, you're a professional Negro.
All right. I'm going to have to disagree with you on that one, B. But okay.
Your whole job is making white folks comfortable.
Oh, okay.
And at this point, that kind of stuff, that kind of stuff, protested and called the police is counterproductive. At this point, you're helping them. You're a professional Negro. Hey, is that better?
Barely. I mean, barely. But just in a second conversation, I don't want to get hung up on it.
Oh, okay. Sorry, B. You
It's
know,
okay.
but yeah,
It
Mr.
ain't the
Smith,
first time.
that's what he say. What?
It's okay. It ain't the first time.
Oh, okay. No, but yeah, he did that, and like I said, he's just as responsible. You know, the cop saying that through the window, hey, put your hands up or whatever. I mean, as a wrestling ref, we call that reaction time.
I mean,
You know, like on a takedown, wrestler takes you to the mat. You know, you've got like 1.5 seconds to either break the hold or, you know, securing back to get the takedown or the escape. You know, depending on the situation. That's an actual rule. It's called reaction time. And cops ain't giving us reaction time right now.
I don't blame this neighbor at all. I blame the
I don't
police
know why the
officer
hell not.
because he didn't do anything wrong.
Yes, he did.
He called himself trying to
That's
be
some-
neighborly. He
Right,
didn't know
he-
he didn't know that a stupid ass idiot was gonna show up with a badge. He didn't know that.
But he knew that there was a possibility. He knew that more than likely, at a 90% clip, they was going to send a white cop to check on this black woman. He knew it was a black lady in there. He called the cops. You immediately put that woman's life in danger. Again, you care that much, go check yourself, bruh. Why are you calling somebody who there's a hell of a percentage, a hell of a chance that this person's going to be an enemy, an op?
I don't think
He
he
didn't
had that
think
in
of that
mind.
situation.
I don't think he had that in mind. I think the brother.
Yeah,
Number,
because he
did you
didn't,
see the
because he's a
video of the brother?
professional
Did
Negro.
you see the video of the brother? He said he regret doing it. He himself said
Yeah.
he feels slightly responsible, but
I mean,
he ain't responsible.
I-
The officer
I've
is
got it.
responsible.
I've gotten in a traffic accident in rush hour before. I regretted leaving the house that early or that late. We always regretful once it goes down, but if he wasn't a professional Negro, he'd have thought it through. Professional Negroes don't have foresight.
So what would you have done differently?
I would have went and checked on my sister. I would have went and checked on her. I seen the door open. Hey, you all right? Your door open? Oh, my fault. Okay, I see y'all in here playing 2K. You understand? That's what I would have done.
And if he would have done
But
that in
no.
this situation, you know what would have happened? Nothing. He, like you said, she was up there with her nephew playing whatever, 2K or some video game. She probably would have came
Right.
downstairs. Oh, sister, okay, brother, boom, he would have left, and nothing would have happened.
Right,
But it could have
He
easily
went the route
gone
of
bad.
the professional Negro.
But it could have easily have gone bad. You could never predict how things are gonna go. I'm gonna give this brother a pass. I mean, he's already beating himself up. That's enough. I blame the officer. It's the officer with the
You
training.
believe him?
I do
You
believe
believe
him.
him?
I do believe him. Yeah,
No, I don't.
I do believe him.
I don't. Yeah, I believe he's upset now because he realizes I'm a professional Negro.
No, he realizes. I bet that ain't even crossed his mind. He's probably thinking about this sister that's dead now. That's what he's thinking about.
I don't think he is. I did the right thing, you know. I called the people. That's what we supposed to do.
That's
what
not
he's
his
telling
attitude, man.
himself.
You didn't see the video.
That's
That's
what
not
he's-
his attitude. That is
I
not
don't
his
need to see
attitude.
the video.
So you ain't even
I
seen the
pick up
damn
his
video.
energy. I pick up his energy.
How you gonna pick up his energy? You
from
haven't even seen the
2000
video in which he's talking about it. Listen, that man is probably somewhere right now with a bottle. He's probably inconsolable because he feels
No, he ain't.
responsible.
No, he's sitting on his couch picking toe jam. He ain't doing shit. He don't care. He's a professional Negro.
There you go. You got your little phrase to work with this morning. You're gonna run with it to the very end, Jesse Owens. Well, go ahead and get your 400-meter dash in or your relay. Go ahead and get it all the way in. Professional Negro.
You-
Go ahead and get it one more time.
You gave up on the game already, huh?
All right, Carl
You got
Lewis.
this big announcement. You got this big announcement coming up real
This
soon.
big
And you
announcement?
just gave up on the game. You're not even turning phrases anymore. That was a horrible metaphor. Jesse Owens,
It was. I think Carl Lewis would be better.
that old nigga, you know what I'm saying? I know. Come
Okay,
on, man.
Carl Lewis. How about that?
But, yeah. But at
That's more
any rate,
appropriate for our generation.
yeah, it is.
And he was crazy in
But
the 400 meter.
I ain't running with nothing. I've always called people PNs.
It don't mean you was always
know,
been
because-
right. It just means you always been wrong out here. You can't even define
Who
what it
have I
means.
called? Stephen A. Smith. I can show you better than I can tell you, huh? Ain't that what the birds say? there. Stephen A. Smith is one. You'll agree.
No, I won't agree.
Don't he always go out of his way to make white folks comfortable anymore?
Yes, he does.
Okay, then. That's the epitome. I'm going to go ahead and bounce.
Bounce
I'll
on
holler
that
at
one.
you at the next move.
All right, take it easy. You're going to bounce on a positive note. That's funny. Rack him. We got to rack him. Damn that man. He got him a little phrase he working with this morning. Insufferable, professional Negro. I don't believe so. I think that man is probably tore up right now because he feels like he's responsible for getting his sister killed. 29 years old. She at home playing video games with her nephew. How beautiful is that? Chilling on a Saturday. She ain't out in the streets, running around, causing chaos. She at home. The brother calls a wellness check, and he didn't know that the police officer was going to show up and be on some stormtrooper. I call him Conan Barbaric. Some Conan the Barbarian type stuff. Because this is barbaric, what they're doing to us. Police fatally shot this woman through her own home. I'm looking at an image of the bullet, of the glass in the window that the bullet went through. Just one shot. Is that what police are trained to do? Just fire one time? They only fired one shot. That's interesting. Because she was so much of a threat. And officials say that the officer perceived a threat. Really? He perceived a threat? Well, of course he did. Why else would he do it? But let me play this audio clip for you right now. This brother's name is James Smith. He is the one that called the police for a wellness check. And, just tell me what you think about the brother and his response. Do you think he's authentic? I believe he is authentic. I believe the brother is really torn up about what happened, and as anybody would be. If that was you, you'd be torn up about it.
Domestic violence.
Let me see if I can pull this up for you.
Nothing that they should have been concerned with as far as them coming with guns drawn to my neighbor's house. So
you heard a gunshot last night.
I heard a gunshot, which was a shock in itself because there wasn't any reason for a gunshot that I know of. I don't know what went on in the house, but I know that she wasn't a threat.
Okay, so that's just a little bit of it. Let me back it up here. So you heard more of the end of it. Let me cycle back to the very beginning. And I want you, this is brother's name is...
they should have been concerned.
Who called the police, and he's explaining why he called the police and his emotions afterward.
Domestic violence, no arguing, nothing that they should have been concerned with as far as them coming with guns drawn to my neighbor's house. So
you heard a gunshot last night.
I heard a gunshot, which was a shock in itself because there wasn't any reason for a gunshot that I know of. I don't arguing, nothing that they should have been concerned with as far as them coming with guns drawn to my neighbor's house. So
you heard a gunshot last night.
I heard a gunshot, which was a shock in itself because...
So he said that the gunshot was a shock in and of itself. He didn't expect for it to get that deep that quick. He didn't expect that. There's also some audio out there of the actual 911 call that he made. And, all this stuff is out there now. The raw, and edited. They say it's raw, but it's not really raw because it's edited. They got a hold of the police body cam, and they edit it. Now, why would you do an edit if everything is on point? Why would you do that? Somebody explain that to me. Why would you do an edit if the entire video is on point? I don't get it.
Okay. And what's your name?
James Smith.
And what's your telephone number?
3 East Allen Avenue.
Okay. 12073. What's the address?
I'm calling about my neighbor.
Okay, what's the address?
1203 East Allen Avenue.
Okay, 1203 East Allen Avenue. What's going on there?
Well, the front doors have been open since 10 o'clock, and I haven't seen anybody moving around. It's not normal for them to have both of the doors open this time.
Okay, you know if anyone is inside?
No, I'm not sure. Both of the cars are there.
Okay, bear with me.
It's not normal for them to have both of their doors open. What?
And they're in the driveway?
I left the cars in the driveway, yes.
Okay, can you give me a description, like a color of the vehicles?
One's white and one's dark blue.
The white one is a sedan or a SUV? Or pickup?
They're both sedans.
Okay. And what's your name?
James Smith.
Somewhere Fame just said professional Negro.
And are they usually home at this time?
They're usually home, but they never had both of the front doors open with the lights on, like I can see straight through the house. Well, my sister woke me up. She stays across the street, and then I live on the opposite side of my sister.
Okay. And the address that you gave me, 1203, that's their address, correct?
So you didn't even see it?
Yes.
Okay. Well, I'll have an officer come by. They're already being dispatched now, okay?
Okay, appreciate it. I mean, it's just not normal for them to have both the doors open this late for that long.
What in the hell?
Okay.
It's not
Thank you so
normal
much.
for... I gotta stop right there, B. You calling the police because you don't think it's normal for them to have their doors open this late? Let me analyze this. Let me stop and reflect for a second. Do I see myself calling the police to do a wellness check because my neighbors across the street have their door open? No, I'm sorry. I wouldn't even know if their door is open like that. Not to say I don't keep my eye on my neighbors, because I do. But I just need a higher threshold before I call the police personally. I'm sorry. Both cars are there. I'm not trying to decide. I mean, how do you know the pattern of the lights that's on in their house? I don't know my neighbors' comings and goings that much to know when the lights are on and when the lights are off. You know, I'm a bit of a night owl. So you come through my crib, the lights are on at all different times. You know what I'm saying? Sometimes in some rooms all night long. It's always going to be that way. This is strange to me. I don't believe that I would have called the police for that reason. I just don't see it. Not for what he just said. Like if I see some strange people over there lurking around on top of all this other stuff, if I hear some pops, screams, but you got your door open? I don't see calling the police for that. I'm all about being neighborly and policing your own communities and the block watch and all that kind of stuff. I'm all about it. I'm 100% for it. That's a great thing. But no, I just can't see it. Now, Faye, remember, he reminded me of something. Speaking of big announcements, it's supposed to be a big announcement today at 10 a.m. And I tell you what, I'm going to close the show a little bit early. Let's say about 1:45. So that will give me enough time to go down. And Fanon Rucker is going to be outside of the prosecutor's office, right? And that's where he is going to launch his bid to run for Hamilton County prosecutor. So it sounds like the rumors are real and the time is now. So I'm sure he's going to be doing a lot of interviews today and throughout the week. I'm going to reach out to the brother, see if we can't get him on this week to chop it up about why he's running for Hamilton County prosecutor. What does that mean for Gabe? Should Gabe Davis stay in the race? Should he get out of the race? You tell me. What do you think? 513-218-0403. That's my T'Challa line. You're more than welcome to have it. Feel free to use it. Just don't abuse it. and give me a call this morning at 513-218-0403. Jog my memory. Yeah, that brother, I think he should have had a higher threshold because when he called, the things he said weren't all that suspicious to me. The light pattern inside their house, you don't think is consistent. I don't know the light pattern of my neighbors' houses. I wouldn't know if the lights were on or off. I don't know. Who's keeping track of that? Does he have a journal? And then secondly, the doors are open. Well, sometimes people like to let the light in, right? If you got double doors, you'll lock that door so people can't get in. Or maybe you lock the screen door because you want to let the light in and the air in or whatever else. It's called old school. That's not the most suspicious thing in the world to me. What do you think, though? Let's go straight to the phones. 513-218-0403. Open your mind before you open your mouth. And let's get into it. Good morning. Welcome to the show.
Good morning, Mr. Ivy.
How you doing, sir?
I'm doing good. This is your West Side Connection, Drop Squad 52. Mr. Ivy, after hearing that call from the media interview and the 911 dispatcher call, I agree with Fame Rothstein, a.k.a. the conceited bastard.
No, you didn't.
100%.
No, you didn't.
Nate, this dude, Nate, I know, Nate, this is unbelievable. How this man, who is that kind of neighbor, which Fame described it perfectly. Fame must have listened to this before you played it, Nate, because Nate, you can even hear it in the voice of the dispatcher, the way she's taking the information and the way she's responding to him. Nate, again, Fame was right. This was a professional Negro who should have never called the police, for one. And then two, you had a punk-ass police officer who probably should have never been a police officer. But again, when you don't have that many people to pick from, you got to put somebody on the street with a badge and a gun. Unfortunately, this young lady lost her life. But Nate, this man should be, like you said earlier, he is probably drowning in a bottle, or he watching the neighbors on the other side of the street. But Nate, this man's got to feel bad for what he did, Nate. I mean, Nate, I'm old enough, you might be old enough to remember the TV show Bewitched, where they had a neighbor named Mrs. Kravitz, and all this lady did was watch everybody on the block all up in folks' business.
Right.
That's what this dude sound like, Nate. Because, Nate, it makes no sense. Because, I mean, more than likely, Nate, whoever came over to the house probably was excited to get there and play video games, and they left the door open by mistake. And you, as a gamer, Nate, you know you in front of that game for hours. So this guy had been watching the house the whole time, Nate. Nate, I feel bad, but I know it's not funny. But the way Fame described this guy, and then listening to the call, Mr. Ivy, it's sad. But you got people like that in the community. Like Fame said, he probably a professional protester. He probably, go down to the local donut shop and try to tell stories with the police and stuff. So I shouldn't be laughing because it's an unfortunate incident. And this is all because of that nosy neighbor, a.k.a. a professional Negro. So I just wanted to say that, Mr. Ivy. It's unfortunate that these things keep happening. And it's something going on in Dallas. I don't know what it is, but it's got to be within the police force and the officers, the type of officers that they're hiring, Nate. Because, I mean, some of these people, how do they pass a psychological test? But again, law enforcement, police departments, when they don't have the quality people that they look for in their recruits, put people on the street. And unfortunately, things like this happen. It's a sad case, but that cop will probably go to jail, just like Amber Geiger did, and the family will get their financial benefit from the unfortunate death at the hands of the Fort Worth Police Department.
I'm not so sure about that. I'm not so sure
why
he's
not,
definitely
Mr.
going to go
Ivy?
to jail. I'm not so sure he's going to go to jail. I'm not so sure. We'll have to wait
Yeah,
and
he's
see.
going to. Oh, Mr. Ivy, he's going to jail. Okay, because you got to remember when they released the body cam within hours of an incident, that means that they've already deemed it a legitimate shooting based on their procedures. Because if you remember, there was a bank robbery or something in Cincinnati, and the police officer shot through the window and killed the guy. You remember that case?
Yeah.
Okay, so shooting through a window is part of police procedure. Okay, I mean, that's just how it is. So they probably felt it was a good shoot based on that professional Negro who made the call in the first place, because the police would have never been there, Nate. They would have had no reason to be there. But everything was based on this professional Negro's original call, which, again, it's just sad. I hate to talk about this kind of stuff that's happening in our communities because, like Fame said, it used to be a time where you were concerned about your neighbors, but you would go across the street and knock on the door and say, hey, all right, and I noticed, oh, we cool, Mr. Smith, and that's it. But to watch the house for all that time and then call the police, but that's enough, Nate. I'm hanging up because I got to give it to Fame. This man is on the cutting edge of the black culture. I'm telling you, Nate, Fame, he gets it right 90-some% of the time. I'm just saying. So let's see. Before I hang up, Mr. Ivy, would you have any professional Negroes in the chop shop?
No.
Oh, okay. All right. Well, I'm going to leave one name that possibly could fall into the category.
Let me guess.
Huh?
Let me guess. Go. Let me think. Let me put a name in mind. Let me see if it's the same name you're gonna say.
Well, all I know is he's from this place called Mason. That's and his first name is Glenn.
You wrong for that.
I call him Mr. Mahler, a.k.a. the Chop Shop Overseer. Well, you have Mr. Mahler, a.k.a. Chop Shop Overseer, a.k.a. Professional Negro, Drop Squad 52, dropping science to anyone who wants to catch it. Peace.
This guy. Oh, dear Lord. We have Sister Iris on the line. Sister Iris, if you're still out there listening, please give us a call. I'll put you straight on. He over here in love with Fame now, huh? I will say, when I was listening to that brother, I was thinking, this is pretty weak. Now, I don't know about the whole professional Negro thing. I mean, you can make your own decision about that. But his rationale that he called in with, I just can't see myself doing that. I can't see myself calling the police to go to somebody's house and they're a neighbor because your lights are on or off. You got two guards in the driveway and, something's going on. Okay. Now, that's one way of looking at it. Now, in my heart, I'm telling you that I don't see myself doing that. To me, I would need a higher threshold before I call the police. And I tell you, I don't like to call the police on black people. I've said that many times before. I've had to do it. You doing dope on my streets? I'll talk to you. I'll give you a warning. But after that, hell no. I just don't see myself calling the police for something like that. To me, I think it was pretty thin. But what do you think? Let's go straight to the phones. Good morning, caller. Welcome to the show.
Hey, Nathan, it's Fast Pitch.
Hey, Fast Pitch, what's up?
Hey, nothing much. Just wanted to give a few comments. The neighbor, I'm not sure if I can label him a professional Negro. I just think he's a busybody. I think that might be generational, his response. I think if he lived in that neighborhood for a long time and those have been his neighbors for a long time, he probably kind of knows their routine and felt like he was legitimately, showing concern by calling the police. He did the wrong thing by calling 12, but I can't really put the professional Negro stamp on him.
Right. He did the wrong thing by calling him because that was pretty thin.
I mean, it was weak. You know what I'm saying? Maybe if he had seen their door open like overnight like that, you know, where it had been a day or two had gone by, he see no moving and the door was open and he knows that's not really, you know, how his neighbors get down. I would have walked over there to see if I was that concerned. I just don't call 12. I just don't. And any black person that calls 12 on another black person, it's almost like a death wish. I mean, you really should be charged with attempted murder for real, because we already know a lot of times it just doesn't turn out stellar for us. It just is not.
I agree with you 100%.
So, yeah, nosy dude. Yeah, he's a Mr. Kravitz. I give him a Mr. Kravitz from Bewitched, but I can't really put the professional Negro tag on him because he was genuinely shaken up. If he was really like one of those friends of the police, I think he would have said, well, you know, the officer responded in the way he thought, and we didn't know what was going on. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
He was genuinely shaken up, and this is going to be on this man's conscience for the rest of his life. So I think he was just nosy, and he needs to just mind his own business. Hopefully he will from this point on. Sadly, the young lady had to lose her life, but no. PN, no, he's not a PN, but definitely a Mr. Kravitz.
Fast Pitch, thanks for the flows. I appreciate it.
All right, you're welcome.
Most def. And working on a couple new podcasts. One of them is with Fast Pitch. And I just can't wait for you to hear it. Looking really forward to you putting it out there so everybody can hear that new podcast. Again, Sin Digital is all about elevating, you know, voices here in the city that normally don't get a chance to be heard. You know, giving a platform and perspective that is normally overlooked. So look for more. Or I'm going to call Sister Iris back because she tried to call. I asked her to call back in, but then Fast Pitch called in. I'm going to call Sister Iris back because she was calling in a couple times and see what's on her mind. Everything she said, I agree with. And that's part of the reason why I wouldn't have called the police for something so small, because when you call the police, you lose control. You don't know what's going to happen. And I don't want to lose control. You know what I'm saying? You don't have no idea what's going to happen when you call the police. So when you do, you got to have a good damn reason. Sister Iris, you on the line?
Yes, I am, dear brother. How are you?
I'm doing great. Sorry about that. I had some folks on the line before you. What's on your mind this morning?
No need to be sorry.
What's on your mind?
I'm trying to be calm as I can around this particular situation. So let's deal in fact instead of innuendos and judgments. Let's deal with the facts of what happened in Fort Worth. I do believe this is the 10th shooting by the Fort Worth Police Department of a black person. I don't know how many deaths. We're digging into that right now to see just what in the hell is going on with a system that is funded and fueled by taxpayer dollars. But I want to deal with facts around Tatiana Jefferson. The neighbor called a non-emergency number. A non-emergency number. I do believe that Ms. Jefferson was caretaker of an older individual. She was in the house with her 8-year-old nephew playing video games. And so whatever the reason, the neighbor felt that he needed to call a non-emergency police number, because we do have the same thing in the city of Cincinnati. When you want assistance and it's not an emergency, you call a non-emergency number, not thinking that the police are going to come blazing with excessive use of force. Those two don't match. For the two dear brothers that called, they don't match. And while we're trying to figure out what happened, despite an investigation that's happening right now, there is something that is evil in Fort Worth, inside of this police department. When you have, since the summer of 2019, 10 black people shot. We got to stop being so damn conditioned that the end result is always a black person. I've called the police many a time before, not expecting for the police to show up with an excessive use of force. You know why, Nathan? Because I pay for them, and they're supposed to give and deliver us the same service they deliver to everybody. If we believe it, and truly and Doc truly believes that is going to be the response, then what are you doing to provide us protection and patrol in our neighborhoods? Please provide me with some solutions. Please don't just give me your judgment and innuendos and your consistent devaluing of black men, black women, and black children. There was an 8-year-old baby in the house with her. And while we're laughing this morning and we're trying to joke about a professional Negro, I think the professionals call you every day with their Negroisms, with their thoughts and judgments, as opposed to solutions on how Black people can survive in the United States of America. There was an elder that called the police. Yeah, maybe I would have went across the street, but everybody isn't Iris Rowley, and everybody isn't the Nathan Ivey. Maybe I would have. No, let me take that back. I don't know if I would do it currently with my neighbors because my neighborhood is being gentrified, and most of them don't look like me. So I don't give such a damn. So while we're trying to be so judgmental with our emotions, let's deal in facts. Let's deal with what the state law says. The state law said that they could release the body on camera. Not that it's legal to shoot through a window. That makes no sense. Drop. The state law said release the body on camera. What the family is waiting on is the investigation as to why the officer shot so damn fast. A 28-year-old woman is dead, and all we got is professional Negro. That's all you got, dear brother? I'm trying to get to Fort Worth to figure out why in the hell the police are killing my people. That's all you got? So until we can figure out what we are going to do for the collective that we care about, until we're going to fight to change systems, because the family attorney came on last night and I went live with some sisters who are down there and they've been on the street trying to figure out what's going on with the police, trying to correct policies and change the system. And instead of standing with the sisters, we got brothers on here talking about professional Negro. Is that all you got? Please don't come stand next to me. Because I need to figure out how to stop a system of abusing my people. I need to figure that out. And if brothers can't stand up and say, either we're going to patrol and protect our own communities or we're going to stand next to you to figure this out, don't stand next to me. I think it's horrible. This morning, an 8-year-old watched his aunt be murdered. A sister who was living her life correctly. And all we got is that. The neighbor called. I heard the call too, and I actually heard the neighbor speak to the news. He said he does feel responsible because he made that call. You don't know what his other issues were, why he didn't cross the street. That's not the point of the matter. The point of the matter is that he did make a call and that he called a non-emergency number. Somebody responded and shot in less than 3 seconds. Where the hell is that a policy? Where in the hell is that acceptable? Why won't we dig into that? Why won't we hold the police accountable for their actions? You know, Nathan, just about a month or so ago, the president of the FOP told me that I didn't have constitutional right to speak, had my protected speech spoken, that I can't speak. Y'all, this is no game. But you want to talk about professional Negroes? I think the professionals are the ones that call every day without facts and make jokes and light. I could say something else, but I'm not. Because, you know, there is an old adage that, you know, slaves will make a back door when there ain't no door. We need to stop pointing our fingers. We put more responsibility on the neighbor than we did the person that had the ability to take a life of which he did and destroy another life and multiple family members in that life and all of her friends and all the others that have been shot in Fort Worth. You all don't even know what's going on in Fort Worth, but you got a whole lot to say. A whole lot to say. We have a policy in the city of Cincinnati that we fought for in 2001 that all body-worn camera footage will be handed over when police act in an irresponsible way. But now we have a prosecutor that's holding on to it so that we can't see what we need to see immediately. Unlike Chicago that will hold on to it for 2 or 3 years. So please miss me with all that and do something. Do something that's going to help the babies that are coming that have no clue of what we're talking about. Do something outside of trying to be so judgmental about Black people. We took all this all the way back and put it on that elder. Took all the responsibility from the police department, from the chief. When I heard him, you talk about a press conference. Hell, that lasted 3 minutes. He had nothing to say. Nothing to say. I watched the people in the street for hours last night who are willing to put their lives on the line to fight for change. Commit to something is what the family's asking you to do. Commit to change. Commit to stand. Commit to do something outside of being judgmental. That neighbor took his. He said he feels responsible for what happened. Take yours and do something. Nathan, I hope you make it to the press conference, and I hope that you ask dear brother Fanon, if he wins this race, will he allow the Citizens Complaint Authority to have its authority to interview officers? Let's see why people are sitting around being judgmental. Shit is being eroded every day. Your protections. While we're calling people names, your protections from the people that you pay to protect and serve you are being eroded every day. If you make it, Nathan and I don't, please ask the dear brother that question. Will he allow the body-worn camera footage to be released as soon as the police get it? Will he not do what Joe Dieters was doing and holding the body-worn camera footage? We fought for that so we could see what actually happened. The only way you can begin to believe in the system that you got is you need transparency and accountability. Will you ask the dear brother, will he prosecute officers who act inappropriately under the cloak of their job? If I don't make it, Nate, can you ask those questions for me, please?
Absolutely.
I greatly will appreciate it, because all of this that I hear this morning, it's inappropriate. We should be talking about the damn system that allowed the fool to get a job. There's a thing called where they do what I hope that they do in Fort Worth, where they're supposed to investigate you before you get the damn job. What does that look like? When you talk about it's not enough, there are enough people. But there are black laws put in place where good black people can't get these jobs. You want to know how I know? Because I've been in it trying to fight to change those laws here in the city of Cincinnati. They are good people. But we know the bad people hire other bad people, and then they get the damn job, and then they act badly. This fool has been on the force since 2018. Maybe he shouldn't. Maybe his psychological exam, maybe his background check, like Ray Tenzing, it was very clear about Ray Tenzing. He should have never been a police officer. Should have never gotten those utensils. Should have never had that belt or that badge. But my dear people, until we determine that we're going to be the protectors and the providers of our community, we got to hold the systems accountable. If you want to hold the man that made the call accountable, hold the system that allowed this fool to get this damn job, to kill this sister in front of this 8-year-old baby, equally as accountable. Nathan, if I don't see you this morning, know that I'm just not well enough to make it, but please ask Fanon those questions if you can.
Oh, I certainly will. Thank you for the flows.
Thank you, sir.
Yep, appreciate it. And I hope it resonates with you knuckleheads out there. That's I saw the video of this man. He seemed like he was not, it ain't going to be good. I mean, he's got some mental health, psychological, emotional issues he got to deal with now because he called the police and his neighbor ends up dead. I don't think that he disliked her. I don't think it was kind of what they call that when people playing video games, that if somebody will try to prank you and they'll call the police and say that there's like an active shooter. And then if you're like streaming, everybody will get on your stream and then watch what happens. The police will bust in and all this kind of stuff. I forget what the term is, but it wasn't like that. I think he thought something was up. And in hindsight, like moving forward, he'll probably never do that again, but that's not going to bring that woman back. It's not going to bring her back. And I don't blame him because he's not the guy who is trained to respond to those situations. I blame the officer. As I said, though, as I listen to it, I don't think I would be calling police for something like that. I need some more suspiciousness to be going on. Lights and stuff, that ain't suspicious to me. Oh, his lights, he usually turns his lights off at 7 a.m., but today, his lights are on until 11 a.m. That's not suspicious to me at all. So I probably wouldn't have done it. But even if he did, you still deserve for a police officer to show up and respond responsibly, in my opinion. Let's go back to the phones. Good morning. Welcome to the show.
Hey, Nathan.
Hey, what's up, TNT?
What's going on?
I'm doing great. Welcome.
Awesome. No problem. I just wanted to make an announcement real quick. Sorry, I'm just hearing some feedback, but...
Are you on speaker?
Maybe. No.
You're not on speaker?
No,
Okay.
no.
Oh, let me see on my end here. Make sure everything's good. All right. You
Yeah,
good?
I just wanted to remind everyone we're having a school board candidates forum tonight at the Community Action Agency, 6 p.m. at 1740 Langdon Farm Road. So we have the school board candidates coming, and you don't want to miss it. If you haven't been able to make a decision on who to elect for school board, you want to come to our forum tonight, put together by the Prince Hart Mason, Cincinnati NAACP, Cincinnati Federation of Teachers, and everyone will be there. And it is early voting, but hopefully if you have not done all your research, this helps. The following week will be the judicial candidates. We'll have them next Monday, and you don't want to miss that either. And I'm also on my way downtown to support the good brother, Fanon Rucker, so I'm on my way there too, so I probably will see you.
Oh, absolutely.
And I just to make that announcement real quick. So
yeah, I'm glad you did.
It is real sad. Huh?
Yeah, I'm glad you did because I forgot to mention it earlier today, so I'm glad you put that out to the folks to let people know what's going on tonight and next week.
Yeah, make sure you guys come out for that. Like I said, early voting has already begun since October the 8th, and that's going all the way up until Election Day, which is November the 5th. And but if you don't have all the information, just make sure you do the research first. Everyone needs to show up. We have big races in the judicial area, and I think this is the beginning where we start to show, especially the ones that are corrupted in our system, how ready we are to vote and get people out. And so this is the first round of them seeing what we're really about. They think that the whole Judge Hunter thing, that we were asleep, that we didn't show up, but we need to show up and show them right now, just the beginning before we get to 2020. But 2020 is going to be great too. So I'm excited, and tonight is a night to get you some information about the school board candidates. So make sure you're there.
Oh, absolutely.
1740 Langdon Farm, Community Action Agency.
Absolutely. And I'll see everybody out there.
All right.
Yep, take it easy. That's TNT right there.
All right, see you later.
Yeah, most def. And I'll see everybody out there for the forum as well. I'll be doing some podcasting like pre and post tonight and then again next week over at that event. So if you haven't made your mind up yet, as she said, it could be an opportunity. So you got school board this week, then next week you got judicial candidates. And, a lot of people are watching the judicial candidates. They mean so much right now as we're looking at law and order and law enforcement in this country. And it could be an opportunity for you to get more insight about them. I don't know. I don't know what's scheduled. I don't know if there's going to be another like judicial kind of thing. So that might be your one opportunity. Maybe they've been doing some other things. I'm not sure, but I do know that everyone's been looking at that District 1. You got to look at all the races. But a lot of folks have been looking at that District 1 race between Janaea Trotter. And we'll have to wait and see. We'll have to wait and see how this is going to go. I mean, November is right around the corner. It's less than a month away. And I'm so glad she got that in today. I'm sorry. I was remiss in my duties. Let me move on. I only got a couple minutes left because I need to leave early. I want to get down here for this press conference. But Shepard Smith is leaving Fox News. And I'm not happy about it because he was one of the best things on Fox News. He was a fact checker. He kept it real. When the president lied, he would say it. When things looked suspicious and it wasn't consistent, he would say it. He wasn't one of the same old Fox News talking heads who you already know what they're going to say before they open their mouth. And the only suspense is the amount of contortions and twists and turns they're going to try to arrive at the conclusion that they want people to believe. Shepard Smith is leaving. That's going to be bad. I don't know who they're going to replace him with, but I'm not happy to hear that at all, but it is what it is. At least he kept it real. Wednesday, I have at 8:30 a.m., we are scheduled to speak with, let me make sure I say his last name correctly. I believe it's Steve Measurely. Now, remember, he was the guy who was Jeff Pastor's chief of staff for a little while. But then somebody told me that I don't know if it was mutual or if he got fired. I'm not sure what happened there. But he's got some interesting things in his background, and now he's running for school board. And my first thought was,
So that'll be on Wednesday. And shout out to Brother Lawrence for what he's doing. He put together some school board debates and forums, another opportunity for people. I got a chance to see just a snippet of Measurely, who I guess he was trying to shout somebody down. Somebody brought up his past, and I guess that's going to be his response, to try to shout him down. I can't wait, because I'm definitely going into it. It's all relevant. It's all relevant. These are very important matters, and we have to make sure that we don't put no bad elements on the Cincinnati School Board. They got enough problems. We don't need no more problems. We got enough issues in CPS. We don't need any more issues. We don't need no Betsy DeVos clones, no mini Betsy DeVos is trying to get on the school board. Or maybe we do. Maybe what we need is a fresh start. Somebody who'll look at things from outside the box. I don't know. We'll find out together. All right, what else is here? I want to make sure I get a couple things in, and then I'm going to make a move and try to get downtown as quickly as possible. Let me see here. Good morning. Welcome to the show.
Hey, good morning. What's happening, Nate? This is Cam.
Hey, what's up, Cam?
Oh man, it's good. Everything's good. Everything's good. I was calling
great.
about the.
Your phone sounds great, man. Welcome.
Thank you. I was wanted to respond to the professional Negro statement or title.
Yeah, go ahead.
And this incident down in Fort Worth. I think that the point is being missed. I don't think that listening to that phone call, I don't think that the neighbor is the blame here. Now, I lived in neighborhoods, grew up there in Cincinnati, lived in Evanston and Walnut Hills, area, and growing up, you always had that nosy neighbor, right? You always had the person that was pretty much always watching. And in a lot of cases, it's good to have a nosy neighbor because, their eyes are there when yours can't be there a lot of the times, or when you're not paying attention, and whatnot. I don't think it's anything wrong with that. I think that the neighbor was trying to be a good neighbor, trying to be a citizen. He may have been a little nosy or trying to be, a watch out, neighborhood watch. Even have neighborhood watch. He could have been neighborhood watch. I don't know. Or it could have been his own, I think that truly he was just trying to help. Now, with that being said, the professional, he don't sound like a professional on the phone at all. I don't even know what his profession is. I mean, professional Negro. If I was to call anybody a professional Negro, it would be that judge. And I think that that's where the blame should be placed, and that title should be placed on the judge, not the neighbor. Reason being, that judge is actually in a professional position, in a position of leadership. Not only in a position of leadership, in a position to be able to judge you, according to, the crime that you commit and or not commit. When that judge did that after the jury made that decision or that verdict, and the judge came down off the bench after that verdict was made by the jury and hugged the murderer and gave the murderer a Bible and whispered some type of sweet nothings in that murderer's ear, there was other law enforcement that was watching that whole incident and that whole event go down. The message that was sent to law enforcement was that, hey, this is something that we may possibly be able to do and be forgiven for. Not only be forgiven for, maybe even get out of. Because here it is, a judge that was endorsed by law enforcement, by the FOP, saying that pretty much by her actions that this is okay. That is truly the professional Negro. Also, Botham Jean's brother would be called a professional Negro, which Negro just means black in Spanish. So I don't really know, the professional Negro term.
He don't know what that. Fame don't know what that means either. I try to
professional black.
I guess he don't know it. It sounds good, and he's just rolling with it.
But if I was to use that term based on his terminology and his definition, I would say it's misplaced placing it on the neighbor.
Absolutely.
That should be placed on the judge that enforces the law. Because believe me, Nate, law enforcement was paying attention to that. So when they get a call to come to a house, I think that they're already, with this being so fresh still, I think that they're already, it's like giving them the green light. Hey, we can shoot people in their own home and get away with it. Or not receive harsh, punishment. Not receive, 10 years, and then, you probably got to get out in 3 or 5, and you get the royal treatment, for committing that crime. No sweat. That's the message that judge sent. I don't know if you've seen it before, but that judge is doing interviews now. I think she did an interview on the Tamarind Hall, and I think she did a newspaper interview too as well.
I saw it.
Did she actually say that if Amber Geiger was black, then all this wouldn't be happening?
She said that if she was black and she hugged her, then people wouldn't be making a big deal about it. She's trying to make the point that the only reason why black people are upset is because she hugged this white woman.
That is what you called a professional Negro by Fame's terminology. Not this neighbor that was really, I would call him an unprofessional Negro because, he don't really know I don't think that he really know what he was doing. And drop calling in, laughing about it and making a joke about it, it's very insensitive. It's very offensive because I think that neighbor was really sincerely, I could hear it in his voice that he was trying to be a good neighbor.
Right.
But we are not in the 80s. We're not in the 70s and the 60s anymore. And he probably came up during that era and thought that he was doing, I think that he really thought that he was doing the right thing. Right. And when you call law enforcement, he was calling them to come by and do a welfare check.
Right.
Or wellness checks. Can you check on it? Because I don't know. Maybe somebody's in there with a gun.
Well,
maybe somebody.
Or not even with somebody with a gun. Maybe somebody had an accident, had a stroke or something.
Broke in.
Or not even broke in. Like a wellness check is, there might be some elderly people there or some handicapped people there or somebody. Go check on them and have them see them on the porch in a while. Maybe they fell in, fractured their hip or something.
When I first seen the story, Nate, it wasn't called a wellness check. It was called a welfare check.
Right. Same thing, I think. I think it's the same thing.
Well, when you say wellness and when you say welfare, I'm in the medical field and my wife is in the medical field as well. A wellness check could be, a medical check. That could be a check that you're going to the doctor and seeing if you're well or not. I kind of flipped that too and said, okay, the media is now putting it out there as a wellness check. Could that be spent that the woman has some type of mental issues maybe? That something was wrong with the woman? Something was wrong with her? Because when I've seen the first story come out, it was a welfare check to check on the welfare of a citizen. Now, back to the judge and back to law enforcement, even if the neighbor was a nosy neighbor and he called law enforcement to go by there and check because they're going to come with the weaponry, they're going to come with the training, and they're going to come with the skills to handle this properly. That officer didn't do that. And that's not the neighbor's fault.
Right.
Because that officer didn't do that. He called himself calling a professional to handle this. If I go knock on the door or I go, hey, is anybody here? And somebody just broke in there and they got them tied up and they performing their crime. He probably didn't want to be involved that in depth.
And he also,
what was ever going on in that house.
And this was something that Iris brought out to the forefront. These are facts that he called a non-emergency number. He didn't call 911. He called a non-emergency number, which means that he didn't perceive there to be some kind of imminent threat. But Cam, listen, I got to make a move, man. I'm going to go downtown to this press conference. Thank you so much for the call.
All right, peace.
Yeah, most definitely. And listen, everybody, thank you for being here. Have a powerful Monday. Okay, I'll be back with you bright and early tomorrow morning at 8 a.m. We'll chop it up. And, of course, tonight I'll be out at the NAACP's school board forum over at the Langdon Farms Road at the Community Action Agency. I'll be doing some pre-podcasting, interviewing some folks on the scene. And I will see you. We'll talk tomorrow. Okay, I'm out.